generally divided, a YouTube podcast, video show. And I'm talking like that because we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. So I'm trying to, kind of mimic it. But actually, welcome back. Today's topic of the day is going to be turtle power. Now, what do we mean by that? That's a very good question, and I'm glad you didn't ask it, so let me ask it for you. So, Gen Z guy, Marco, when we say turtle power, what are we talking about?
Ninja Turtles?
Ninja Turtles, not just any regular old Ninja Turtles, though. No, the Teenage Mutant variety. Aha, okay. So the main reason I brought up this topic was because it is generally, well, I guess you can see that this topic is divided into two bits. The then, for my generation Ninja Turtles, and the now, which would be more of your generation Ninja Turtles. When Ninja Turtles first appeared on cartoons and action figures, it was in the late 80s and early 90s. So I was about anywhere from 10 years old to 13 years old when they first came out. Now, they were created, of course, by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird as a comic book back in 1984, where they self-published it. And it was, I'm just reading here off of Wikipedia because I don't know all this. I'm just reading it just to convey it to you all in case you want to know a little bit of history about them. Now, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were, of course, inspired by the Uncanny X-Men, the mutant part, right? X-Men. And they were also inspired by Daredevil comics. I'm not sure if you knew that or not.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were. So if you think about it, look at this. So Daredevil has the hand that he's fighting against, right? And Daredevil was mentored by someone named Stick, right? That was his mentor. So in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the clan is the Foot Clan. And their mentor is Splinter, of course, a mutated giant rodent who also carries a stick. So, it's a cool inspiration. And it's because Daredevil is my favorite, probably my favorite comic book character. I really enjoy that. So I've talked enough. What are your thoughts? First off, let me ask you this. You've seen both movie iterations of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which one did you like better? The original trilogy or the current most recent sequels or reboots or whatever you want to call it?
I like the reboots. They're okay. I know there's a lot of fans out there that are probably going to hate me for this, but I absolutely love the original versions. Okay. I know the graphics weren't up to par. Technology of the time, movie technology wasn't exactly developed to its fullest yet. It was still developing. And you can see as the movies, trilogies in the original saga where they were trying to get better costumes, they were trying to get better, looks. And they were using a little bit more CGI. And the newer series kind of just threw out all costumes and went complete CGI. Mm-hmm. But no, I really enjoy the humor from the originals. I grew up on the originals. Michelangelo from the originals, that was just my main guy, 100%. Mikey. And I felt the original stuck more to the comics than the newer iterations really did.
Interesting. I'll talk about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think they tried to keep close to it. But the originals felt more like the comics of what I knew.
Now, did you read the comic strips or comic books?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't be able to compare the original movies if I hadn't read them. But yeah, no, I definitely read those.
Okay, because the original movies were a little bit more lighthearted than the comic book. So the comic books are a little darker. They're more action and violence, I guess you'll say. Even in like Europe, parts of Europe, they had to change the name from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles because of the way ninja was conveyed and construed as being violent, right? So the more recent ones, which I will say this is where we divided, I like the reboot CGI TMNT version of the movies more so than the original trilogy. Now, yes, I grew up when they first came out and I saw the movies there. And being a martial artist at the time, because I was in Taekwondo, I really enjoyed them and I loved them. It was fantastic. But seeing the way they were able to make with the CGI, and it felt more authentic to what I had pictured Ninja Turtles would be like. So less cartoony, more action, and the humor of the new one was great. And of course, with Michael Bay directing the first one, I was a little afraid because there was talks of him taking away the whole turtle aspect and making them aliens. And when that was like rumored to be, and when they were talking about that, I was just like upset about that because they're turtles. You can't make them aliens, right? But I think the rebooted version of Ninja Turtles is better in my book. Yeah, so Division. Now, what was you said Michelangelo's was your favorite turtle, or is your favorite Ninja Turtle? Do you have a favorite memory from the Ninja Turtles that you really like?
Just seeing Michelangelo ordering pizza for his brothers.
Yeah.
And trolling the pizza guy, telling him that he was late, so he's not going to pay full price. That's just a scene that's always been something that I always thought Mikey would do.
Oh yeah. His personality.
Yeah, definitely a personality trait.
Yeah, because it's more in line with, I guess, your personality, right? So it's more of the carefree. I don't want to call him a surfer guy, but it kind of is in a way, even though you're not. But he still has that carefree attitude, and everything's almost like a joke and everything. Doesn't take anything too seriously, which is fine. Some people have that personality traits. I tended to like Donatello more, not just because he was smart, but because I really liked, at the time I was studying to use the bow a lot. So it was the weapon of choice for me at the time. So I was getting familiar with that. And of course, Donatello uses a staff or bow, and it just happened to coincide that he was the brainiac one. So I'm not saying I'm smart.
Yeah, no, you definitely are smart.
But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I grew up with them. I had all their action figures, had all the turtles. And they went from the original cartoon series. And then, of course, I grew up. So I got away from the rebooted cartoons on like Nickelodeon, where it was more anime style. Did you watch any of those cartoons?
Yeah, I did. It did catch me when I was still pretty young. So I was able to thoroughly enjoy it, a lot of it. It wasn't anything like the comic books. It was good for what it was. But it was really desensitized and washed down for kids. Mm-hmm. So the action was a lot more meant for kids. The audience was really focused on kids. I mean, it was on Nickelodeon, which is a big reason why, I guess. Nickelodeon kind of became more kid focused as the shows went on, and it's good. I mean, I don't have to worry about my sisters hearing any of those jokes from the shows we grew up on.
We grew up on? Well, you mean I grew up on? More, or that you just happened to overhear?
No, well, I did get a lot of the original shows. I mean, they were still aired and they were still accessible. I mean, the original shows from that time, I mean, exactly like the Ninja Turtles, the comics, they were a little bit more oriented to an older audience. They weren't oriented towards kids too much.
More older kids, I would say. Yes, like older kids, not younger kids. Yeah.
Yeah, they were definitely oriented towards that. But I feel like the mix between martial arts and the lightheartedness of the original Teen Mutant Ninja Turtles, was a perfect mix because the family can watch it and they don't have to worry about, a scythe going through someone's head. And for the fact that it was
someone gets their head chopped off. Well, that's actually why in the cartoon series, the foot were robots.
Yeah, they did do that.
Because they didn't want to see them killing people, so they figured if they made them robots, they could have, it was just destroying robots and it wasn't as violent, which is interesting.
Yeah, I know that was a smart choice for them, and I know why they did it, because then they wouldn't have like as many roadblocks making more episodes where shows like decent combat scenes or decent like fight animations, which for those shows it was pretty good.
Now, so the original trilogy movies, the first one, of course, we are introduced to all the characters. Second one, we learn like they're more of their origin story, and then the third one is they go back to feudal Japan and as samurais, right? So, and at the time, Japan was the biggest market for American films outside of the US. So that's why they tried to cater toward that, although it didn't go over that well. Would you say you have a favorite of those three movies?
It would be between the first and the second one. I feel the first was more my favorite than anything. But yeah, it would be between the first and second one. Yeah. I mean, the third one, they did some weird things with that one. They had some weird choices.
Hey, time traveling Ninja Turtles. Can't go wrong there.
I know. Whoever thought of that idea. Thank you.
Now, did you ever get inspired to just want to go do more martial arts after watching the movies?
Oh, yeah. That was actually how my dad would inspire me to, or motivate me to want to practice more. That was his motivational idea, was showing me that, or at the time, anime and stuff. So it was between anime and Ninja Turtles. It worked.
All right. Did it though? Did it?
I think it
worked. Oh man, I think the reboots though, the two TMNT, the more recent movies, they really, I don't know, they really, I think, played to a bigger audience because they were geared towards adults, I think, but they also had comedy and elements for kids. But I really enjoyed those. Although, like you, when the original movies came out, I was inspired to want to do martial arts more. And I think, if anything, movies that can motivate kids to want to go participate in some sort of activity are great.
Yeah. When they inspire kids to want to do those things, that they're feasible. It's not just movie magic. It's feasible that you can go up there and do these cool practical stunts, because the originals were practical effects. The originals were, they had stunt doubles.
Well, there was people in suits, right? There was people in the actual suits from Jim Henson's studio. So they actually had the costumes on, and they were actually people doing the stunts. Now, don't get me wrong, in the newer movies, there are people doing the stunts, but they have the cameras on. They're not in the actual get-up. So it makes
they're in CGI get-up so that they can capture their body so that it's more accurate to their performance, which they did a great job. I mean, I know CGI work. I know special effects. It's really hard to just perform, especially when you're doing martial arts, something that's supposed to be flashy, something that's supposed to be, you have to see like what they're doing.
Yeah. And then imagine now you have a mask on and you can't see that well, and you have to perform this intense martial art stunt action sequence. That's pretty good. Yeah.
The choreography when it comes to martial arts movies is always my favorite part. But that's something that I think a lot of people can agree on, is that a lot of martial arts movies, especially older generation movies like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, were good inspiration, good motivators for practicing or going out and exercising, or for one day eating pizza and then going and swinging from nunchucks.
Yes, eating pizza with one hand and swinging nunchucks with the other. Yeah, I'm sure many people got hurt because of that.
I'm one of those people.
Now, Ninja Turtles wasn't just movies, comic books, cartoons, or anime. They also had video games. Yes. I remember playing the original Nintendo video game of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that was a lot of fun. I mean, they inspired like knockoffs. There was like Battletoads. I don't know if you've ever played that one. That's like a knockoff of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's a game called Battletoads. So if you haven't seen it, go look it up. You'll be surprised by it. That was actually fun too. But yeah. So did you ever play those games?
Battletoads, no. I had a friend that had it back when it was still available and easy to get, like a hold of, because a lot of those games are really impossible to get a hold of now. Mm-hmm. But I did have friends that played that one and they would talk about it. The original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games, though, for Nintendo, I did have a very brief time when I was younger to actually play it and experience it with my dad and my mom. So that was, yeah, I know what you're talking about when you're talking about the Ninja Turtle game. That was fun.
Yeah, the Ninja Turtle franchise, it's been around for almost 30 years now. And it's just, I would like to see another couple movies out of them. I think they still have a lot more story to tell. Now that I'm reading more comic books, maybe I can get back into that. I think they actually have a museum in San Diego somewhere for Ninja Turtles. So I'll have to look that up. And if I can find it, I'll put a link in the description box right down there for you guys to see. But any other thoughts on Ninja Turtles?
Just that if you haven't seen the originals, it's definitely time.
Even the third one?
Even the third one, yeah. You stick it through.
You go watch that trilogy. You don't give up. Exactly. Well, with that being said, we invite all of our listeners to let us know what was your favorite, if you've watched them. What was your favorite movie? 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5? So if we're going to call it that. Or maybe it's not a movie. Maybe it's more of the comic book, or maybe it's more of the cartoon or the anime series. Which is your favorite version of Ninja Turtles? Is it the original comic books where they all had red bandanas over their eyes, red masks? They didn't introduce the color-coded ones until the original cartoon series. That's when the color-coded mask came out, which is smart because then kids can recognize, oh, that one's Leonardo because he has the blue mask, or that one's purple. So that was a smart idea, but I kind of like the all red. So that's pretty cool. Let us know what you guys think. We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that will catch you all next time. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow, and share. And we will see you guys next time.